those are the moments that really test who you are. Are you willing to grind even on your lowest and hardest days? What's up, internet friends? Hope you're having a wonderful day. It is day 4 of our Kickstarter campaign, and today's topic of what I'd love to talk with you guys about is what happens on your first day that you don't receive any money in. And what does that feel like? Sometimes I think you can struggle with imposter syndrome, right? Especially if you had a pretty nice launch of your Kickstarter campaign, you're getting thousands of dollars in, feels good, bro. The money is coming in, things are happening, right? You spend all that time prepping your Kickstarter campaign, your videos, your content, your posts, your social media, all of that, and you had a great bang, you started getting money in, and then, like any Kickstarter campaign or any type of fundraising, you're going to have that day 1 where you don't get any money in. Now, today is a Saturday, and it is a weekend, and I was planning on doing this post anyway because this is something that I think is important, an important facet, an important part of the fundraising process. Now, for me, as a startup entrepreneur and venture capitalist, I'm used to this. I'm used to the long lead time. I'm used to the long cycle time of funding, whether it's raising funds for a startup, whether it's seed capital, Series A, Series B, etc., or from a venture capital standpoint, waiting for checks to clear, waiting for money to come in for your tranches of your investment into a VC fund so you can deploy it out. And so when it comes to the startup game, when it comes to the venture capital game, when it comes to any type of fundraising game, guess what? You're going to have highs and you're going to have epic lows. And sometimes, certainly in my own experience, some of those lows can have you start questioning things, have you start thinking negatively about your situation. Oh, it went so well. Everything was blowing up, and then now no one's giving us any money, right? You can't sit on that thought and that idea for long. And that's essentially what I want to just unpack a little bit here, because this is part of the startup world. This is part of the startup life. If you're trying to raise money, whether it's through venture capital, family and friends, institutions, doesn't matter. There's going to be moments when it's high highs because you got that check in or you got that money coming in, and there's going to be low lows when you're thinking, man, what did I do? Was this really supposed to be? Am I going to fail, right, in this venture? Am I going to not be able to raise the capital necessary for me to continue to build my dream? These types of things. And I think a lot of people at this point will struggle with imposter syndrome and start thinking about, maybe it wasn't meant to be, or maybe it shouldn't have happened, or maybe if I had done this, right? It's all the woulda, coulda, shoulda nonsense. You have to stay focused. You have to stay positive. Remember, when it comes to any type of fundraising is not the be-all, end-all. You're learning here. You're learning how to fundraise. You're learning how to market. You're learning the narrative, the value proposition. You're learning to hone in your value proposition, your focus, right? All of this is required. All of this is part and parcel of the entire experience. And so one of the things, I've got a lot of notes down here. One of the things that I just wanted to make sure that I talk about in this Kickstarter campaign is this idea of what happens on your first day that you don't get funding, right? And what the emotional outcome of that sometimes can be. Now, again, it can be negative. You can start thinking insular. You can start thinking inward and start thinking, oh man, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Don't worry about that. There are practical things for you to do. So I've written a couple notes down here. So I was thinking that we were going to get no money in today, but we actually got some money in today on a Saturday, which is nice. But there are going to be days where we don't get money in, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. On those days when you don't get money in, that is a time to check and recalibrate your strategy, your marketing strategy, your narrative, as well as your social media strategy. And so the things to think about, right? Content. Are you producing content? Blog posts, video posts, reels, videos, short form. Are you posting these every single day? This is what is required. Number two, are you doing videos, right? We posted a video yesterday. I'm posting this video today, right? I'm going to be doing a blog post or an update post on the Kickstarter campaign. So that way people are updated, as well as our product hunt campaign, as well as our Geyser Fund campaign, right? So I'm posting, and LinkedIn. So I'm posting on multiple places updates of what's going on. Not only that, we have to remember that this, in a lot of ways, when it comes to the fundraising process, is learning how to ask for money. Right? You have ego. I certainly have some ego, right? And it takes a little bit of breaking down that ego to ask for money. And so a very simple question, are you asking for money every day? It's your dream, isn't it? It's what you want to build, isn't it? It's this thing that you're trying to fund, isn't it? And so you have to be the one that is willing to ask every single day, even on weekends, for money. So I can tell you right now, this weekend, this Saturday, I've already asked 5 or 6 people for money. Is what it is. Now, I'm not asking for a lot, right? I'm asking for $20-$50, just some support. Of course, what I really want is feedback. But at the end of the day, we have to break through that veil. We have to break through that ego constraint, right? You have to get seat time and experience and cycle time, asking for money in many different ways, right? My father always said that asking is free. But even though asking is always free, sometimes it's hard to ask because our ego gets in the way. You have to remember, you have an idea, you have a Kickstarter campaign, you have a project, you have a startup, you have something that you need funding for. Ain't nobody gonna find you if you're not creating posts, video content, social media posts. You're not emailing out contacts, your network, your extended network. You have to do the hustle. And especially on days, and I think this is the key, especially on days when it looks like you're not making any forward movement, right? No money's coming in. It's the doldrums. Looks like you've hit a wall. That is when you need to jump into action and keep doing the daily discipline. Here's an intellectually honest conceit from me right now. I've had a long day of work. It's 5:30 in the afternoon, almost 6 o'clock. And I've had an entire day of training, right? Training Agile and Scrum. I'm tired. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this video, right? But I made a commitment to vlog and daily update for 60 days as we go through this Kickstarter campaign. Outcome good or outcome bad, doesn't matter. I made a commitment to document this entire process. And as you guys well know in these videos, I like to do it in one take. So no cuts, generally 0 cuts, just straight from my heart, straight from the hip, straight from my thoughts directly to you guys. And so I hope this is an encouragement, whether if you're building a Kickstarter, any type of startup, any type of project where you need money and funding in, and on those days where you don't get that money, that's where you need to go and put in the work. And I think this is one of the psychological things that are necessary for your resilience. It's necessary for your perseverance. It's necessary for your character building. Because if you think about it, on the days in which you don't get money in, those can be your lowest days. Those can be the days where you can sulk. Those can be the days where you say, I'm going to just not work today. Those can be the days where you might even think about quitting. The psychological opportunity there is, can you overcome your own ego? Can you overcome your own depression? Can you overcome your own thoughts of negativity and get back to work? Asking for money, creating content. For me, the thing that I'm doing today is making this video and rendering it and putting it together and posting it out so you guys can hear my heart and my journey as I try to build, frankly, I'm going to build this most amazing technological solution for the automotive and motorsport world. And so I hope this is encouraging. It's on your hardest days that truly reveal the character that you so said you had, right? Or you espouse, or the character and personality discipline that you tell people that you have, right? In the quiet moments when nothing's happening, those are the moments that really test your character. Those are the moments that really test who you are. Are you willing to grind even on your lowest and hardest days? That right there, my friends, is worth investing in. So, hammer down, my friends. Heads up, stay positive, keep grinding. You have a wall to build. brick by brick.